This is 7 News, the voice of the New England.
Tonight, Rural Fire Service volunteers mourn the loss of one of their own.
A 3-day police blitz wraps up in the region.
I'm Daniel Gibson. Later on this news hour, the Optus boss apologises for the nationwide outage while defending the telco's response. And dozens of cars smashed in a wild stolen car chase.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. Tributes are flowing for a Rural Fire Service volunteer who lost his life while fighting the Hudson Fire near Walgett.
Captain Leo Franson was a husband and a father from the Mid-North Coast who had just begun his 3-day deployment. Rex Quayle joins us now from Tamworth. And Rex, this is obviously a difficult time for his family and the RFS.
It certainly is, Nick. The Rural Fire Service today is mourning the tragic loss of one of its own. Captain Francis joined the brigade in 2010 and is remembered as an enthusiastic and committed life member, and chaplains and local managers are currently supporting the family. It's the second death of an RFS volunteer in action this year. It's impacted crews across the state, particularly those fighting the Walgett blaze.
And this obviously is a significant impact to not only his family but to the RFS itself. It's a very tight family type unit, the RFS, and these things are incredibly difficult for everybody involved.
Captain Leo Franson was battling the fire in and around the small mining community of Glengarry when he was struck by a large tree yesterday afternoon. He was transported to Lightning Ridge Health Facility where he passed away. The Hudson Fire is believed to have started from a lightning strike 5 days ago and has burnt more than 21,000 hectares and destroyed 6 buildings. A watch and act alert is still in place for that area as firefighters struggle to contain the blaze.
Yeah, it certainly is some sad news. Thanks, Rex. That's Rex Quayle reporting in Tamworth for us tonight.
New South Wales Police have wrapped up a 3-day blitz on organised crime across Tamworth, Gunnedah and surrounding areas. 6 crime commands from across the state were brought in to assist Oxley Police as they made arrests and seized firearms.
A 3-day multifaceted operation by New South Wales Police, seizing 11 firearms and issuing 18 firearm prohibition order compliance checks across Tamworth, Gunnedah and surrounding areas.
Extremely successful, the operation. As you can imagine, all those resources injected into a community like Tamworth and Gunnedah, we have identified certain crime targets within the area.
It was one of the largest deployments for officers in the region this year, arresting 36 people, executing 2 search warrants, a crime scene warrant and a total of 65 charges relating to multiple offences. As the crime rates increase, police are throwing every force they have at finding offenders.
If you even consider committing any type of crime, be it at the level of these organised crime groups or in that lower echelon in relation to these youth crime groups, we will come, we will hunt you down and we will prosecute you.
Highway Patrol conducted 900 drug and alcohol breath tests during the 3-day blitz. 60 detectives from multiple crime squads across the state were involved in the 3-day operation. A total of 6 crime commands, combined resources including Pol Air and police dogs. Operation Western Mongoose has been in place since November last year. Police were not just focusing on youth crime this week, but organised crime within the region.
So it's really, really important we don't only maintain our focus on the mongoose targets, but we also look at these other criminal activity in the area.
Olivia Babb, 7 News.
Farmers have united today for a mental health workshop, learning ways to support themselves as well as their family and friends. It comes as dry conditions continue to put pressure on farmers right across the state.
Farmers are no stranger to dry conditions, well experienced in changing plans and adapting to uncontrollable weather. But as the pressure mounts, so does mental health, and talking about it can be a struggle.
Record highs to record lows in a very short period of time, and the rate of change of circumstances has been what's caught everyone off guard.
30 farmers gathered today for a workshop focusing on how to help yourself and your community. Knowing what mental health is the first step. Today's goal to provide farmers with the tools to communicate and spot the signs.
To remind everyone to A, keep an eye on ourselves, but also keep an eye on all those around us. and make it normal to have this conversation, to ask how someone's really going and what is it that's really challenged them and how we might be able to help them.
Gavin Haywood has been in the agriculture industry for more than 20 years. He wants to know how to ask the question, are you okay?
I'm not good at doing that, and I'm here today to learn some better skills at doing that.
Farmers are known for being tough and resilient, but with high interest rates, dry weather, dropping cattle and sheep prices, the pressure can be all too much.
That's causing issues with needing to maybe feed them, and that's causing a lot of stress.
It's about being comfortable to reach out for help and offering a hand to those in need in the right way.
I have seen some friends struggling, and it'd be nice to know how you could practically help them instead of just talking.
Confidence to ask a better question, to start a conversation and ask someone how they're really going.
Olivia Babb, 7 News.
The New South Wales Police Minister says she won't be backing any state inquiry into rural crime. It comes after the Country Mayors Association, Police Association and New South Wales farmers joined forces to call for the probe last month. Some country mayors are backing the minister's call, saying it would be better to invest the funds directly into the problem rather than conduct a lengthy investigation of it.
I'm sure the inquiry is going to cost a lot of money, and if it's going to give us nothing more than what the Commissioner and the Minister already know, then I'm starting to wonder whether it is actually necessary.
Police Minister Yasmin Catley does agree rural crime is an issue and wants to work on a solution.
Skill shortages continue to impact the trade industry right across the state, here in our own backyard, I should say. But one local business is making sure it doesn't continue, encouraging and inspiring high school students to take up a trade as a career.
The trades industry is screaming out for more workers, but it's hoped this program can inspire kids to take it on as a career.
On days like this, you just learn about what it's about and see if you like it or not, and so you can get a trade in it.
We're struggling at the moment. We can't get anyone, let alone skilled labour.
As part of the state government's Regional Industry Education Partnership Scheme, Year 9 students from Tamworth High School have been working at Belmore Engineering. Split into groups and building fire pits, the best one is crowned the winner at the end of the week.
We had to weld one of the plates on, and then I cleaned up the legs with the grinder, and now I just got to weld all the legs on.
Really great. They, even though they're young kids, they get in, they listen, and they just try their best, and that's all we ask of them, really. Whether they work for us or whether they go work for someone else, they at least they're working in the industry.
91% of New South Wales councils reported not being able to find enough labourers. Regional areas are particularly affected. Belmore Engineering is one of many places doing anything they can to bring in skilled workers. They've seen a drop-off in applicants post-COVID, with many kids deciding to pursue different career paths.
There's a lot of people these days just going on to different avenues in life and not really wanting to do the hard work like we do now. Anything that can get a kid in the door and just show them a bit of what we do, because they're never going to know if they don't come and look, really.
Rex Quayle, 7 News.
An Optus Senate inquiry has begun today as the CEO and Managing Director took the stand. The giant telco went down on Wednesday last week, lasting until the late afternoon. During that time, 000 calls were not able to be made from landlines. Customers affected were offered 200 gigabytes of free data, and it's estimated $36,000 has already been paid out in compensation. The CEO, Kelly Bayer Rosmarin, denied any plans to step down and will take on board the feedback. A report from the committee is expected to be delivered by December 9.
A multi-million-dollar refurbishment has now been completed at Tamworth's private hospital. The Tamara Hospital on Dean Street expanded its services with an education area, a new operating theatre and bigger post-surgery facilities. The update has increased the surgery bed capacity to 45. The theatres have already been put to use with their surgical robot performing over 60 surgeries.
Farmers are some of the hardest working men and women in the region. Today, as part of National Agriculture Day, their efforts were recognised as the spotlight shone on the vital resources farming provides for Australia.
The agricultural industry is one of the most critical in Australia, and those working hard to keep it running are today getting the recognition they deserve.
National Ag Day is the day that Australia stops and pauses and says thank you to the farming families that every day go to work in the paddocks to produce the food and produce that we all enjoy.
National Agriculture Day celebrates the work that farmers do and acknowledges the challenges that lie ahead. Drought is looming, with the Bureau predicting a hotter than average summer.
Super challenging time for farming families right now. We're coming off the 3 driest months on record, off the back of an already dry period of time.
Charles Sturt University hoping its replica farms can provide students with hands-on training, getting them ready for the extreme weather that could hit in future.
It gives them an opportunity to go up, practice those skills, get involved in data collection on the farm, and then get involved in the actual management of the farms.
CSU celebrating the day with a lunch to commemorate the work that has been done regionally to progress the industry. The day also encouraging the public to support farmers by starting conversations about where their food has come from.
Remember, there's a lot of people involved in getting that food onto your plate, a whole supply chain. So it's being appreciative of the fact that it doesn't just appear there.
Marla Summer, 7 News.
Today was an opportunity for Australia to reflect on domestic violence with the annual White Ribbon Day. Students from Tamworth's Calrossi Anglican School were spotted donning a white ribbon to spread awareness. Teachers say schools play a major part in educating young people about violence against women.
I think it's really important because a lot of the time, well, we're the issue as men, we're the ones who need to learn about it.
Multiple cases of domestic violence end up in death, and I've had a saying that I've been told that you're never a real man if you hit a woman.
1 in 6 women have experienced domestic violence from a partner.
Well, Kirsty joins us now with a look at today's weather. And Kirsty, we did see some early showers, but they cleared up this other.
Yeah, they did, Maddie and Nick. Hello to you both and good evening, everybody. We did have mostly settled weather after we saw those showers and storms swiftly move through the region this morning. About 2 millimetres was recorded for both Gunnedah and Glen Innes, but skies cleared to a mostly settled Friday, as Maddie said. Maximums ranging from the low 20s in the east to the low 30s further west. Gusty winds, though, swinging out of the south and the southeast, particularly around Narrabri. That did mean that our maximum temperature actually felt about 3 to 4 degrees cooler today. And once again, those mild minimums with some cloud trapping in a little bit of warmth during the day. There is the chance of some storms developing and possibly showers too. I'll have the weekend forecast shortly, guys.
Weekend forecast sounds good. Thanks, Kirsty.
Still to come in 7 News, families flock to Walcott for a motorcycle rally.
And high school students unite for a day of motivational speaking.
And a little later on this news hour, some bombshell admissions over the mass outage as the Optus boss is grilled by a Senate inquiry. 4 people arrested over an interstate crime spree in a stolen car. And the new laws imposed on asylum seekers released from immigration detention. That's all soon.
Welcome back. The Welcome Motorcycle Rally will come roaring back to life tomorrow morning. Whether you're into cruisers, choppers or four-wheelers, the event caters to all. The family-friendly weekend is offering everything from adventure rides to postie bike soccer. There is no better location than Walcott, conveniently placed in the crossroads of 2 of Australia's best motorcycle rides.
Well, it was a day of singing, dancing and motivational speaking. High school students gathered in Tamworth today, learning the importance of standing tall and reaching out for help.
4,500 high school kids, and the energy is electric. Australian Idol superstar Tim-O-Matic graced the stage at the Tamworth Regional Entertainment Centre as part of this year's Stand Tall conference, a one-day motivational event aimed at inspiring the next generation.
It felt like a wind
a wind of energy. The students were so engaged and just having a great time.
The purpose of having these events is to build hope back into our youth, the youth in Australia who have been through some pretty tough times.
Motivational speakers shared their stories of heartbreak and trauma. It's the second year of this event. This time around, they've invited more schools and an extra 1,600 kids.
I injected myself as much with heroin as possible, and I dropped to my knees and I started overdosing.
The things that you might, your 15-year-old self, you would tell them, they're trying to tell that to young people.
In the New England Northwest, the amount of people living with a mental health condition sits at 9.4%, compared to the state average of 8%.
We know that a lot of things come against young kids, in this day and age. Bullying, sometimes eating disorders.
Regional kids are resilient. They have to put up with and deal with a lot. But to hear these sorts of stories, I think it's just part of the many things that support our kids thriving.
Organisers want to come back again next year, hopefully with an even bigger crowd.
Kids need to feel something and to look to something more than what they already know.
Rex Quayle, 7 News.
An eastern long-necked turtle has received life-saving treatment at the Taronga Western Plains Zoo Wildlife Hospital. It was rescued by a member of the public when it was discovered on the road in the Narromine region. X-rays revealed several shell fractures which were treated by the vet team. 10 weeks after the turtle arrived at the Wildlife Hospital, staff were able to remove the pin that had been stabilising the injury.
And now we just want to take it off to see how stable it is and give him another week, and then hopefully he'll be released.
And that's exactly what happened. The turtle was released into the Macquarie River near Warren Road. Zoo staff are reminding motorists to look out for our wildlife on the roads.
Up next in 7 News, the Tamworth Golf Club ditches its dress code for the mighty mullet.
And cricketers face off for another day of championships.
Clearing pickets and taking wickets. That was the plan for some of the state's best bush cricketers as the Country Championships gets underway in Tamworth.
The team to beat at the Country Championships. Last year's victors, Newcastle, looking to make it 5 in a row.
Yeah, we're really looking to just hit the ground running today and a bit of a fresh start for us.
Whilst they may be opponents today, they could soon be teammates. On the line is a spot in the New South Wales Country team. Central North had a challenge at number 1 Oval. Stop the Bush Blues skipper, Nick Foster.
Yeah, it's obviously a pretty proud thing for myself and anyone else who gets to represent New South Wales Country. I've been lucky enough to do it for a number of years now. And
Central North won the toss and came in with a plan.
Yeah, I think we take it to them. I think if we be reserve and try and play our game and don't challenge them, I think that's where they get on top and they really dominate that type of cricket.
Yesterday, the new T20 competition was a difficult challenge for Central North and Newcastle. But both teams are more confident in the one-day format.
Yeah, I think this format suits us a lot better. We have a lot of traditional batsmen, so our top order is going to really thrive on this type of cricket.
Across town at Riverside, North Coastal took on yesterday's Country Bash winners, Greater Illawarra. They were trying to stop their momentum heading into a long weekend of cricket.
Illawarra, I think they're a fairly energetic young sort of squad, so they'll be up for it, obviously. And for us, it's just about starting well with minimal loss.
But one of the biggest challenges for all teams is managing fatigue until Sunday.
3 days of cricket is tough off the back of a T20 comp. So hopefully, we're all fit and we can, reassess, tomorrow morning after we get through today.
Max Gent, 7 News.
The Tamworth Golf Club ditched its traditional dress code this morning for the Mullet Mentality Charity Day. Close to 80 golfers paired the rather iconic Aussie hairstyle with their favourite party shirt, and it was all for a good cause.
It's all about men's mental health, blokes getting together, having a chat, having a bit of fun, but also bringing a lot of arena blokes together that people that never meet, never correspond, and actually just having a chat and understanding how their life is and what's going on.
The event will continue next year as the charity looks to expand right across the region. Tamworth Auskick is on the lookout for a new coordinator this year as the program looks to expand junior AFL across the region. The role will be less demanding than in past years, with new coaches locked in to lead the under-10 and under-12s team. If the position isn't filled, the association could be forced to fold for the season. Well, up next in 7 News, Kirsty is back and she's got your all-important weekend weather forecast. That's next.
Good evening, everyone. A high-pressure system lying over the southwest of the state will promote mostly dry and stable weather over the weekend, while a low-pressure trough sits over the north and it will trigger some showers and thunderstorms. A new trough, though, is deepening through Queensland and into New South Wales over the coming days, forecast to deliver widespread rain into next week. Now, up to 65 millimetres could fall across the New England and northwest region. It does look heaviest on Wednesday. At this stage, we can expect thunderstorms well into mid next week too, and some areas of isolated heavier rainfall. The upcoming showers will also reduce our fire risk into next week, but tonight total fire bans do remain in place until midnight for both the Northwest Fire District and the Northern Slopes. Taking a look now to our weekend weather for our Saturday, it will be sunny and settled across the region under clear blue skies. Winds becoming lighter out of the east at around 20 kilometres an hour. We can see those temperatures ranging from the low 20s around Tenterfield into the low 30s for Inverell and for Murrurundi. Sunday delivering a little bit of mixed weather, a sunny morning, but there is the chance of some late storms developing. Temperatures remaining elevated, the high 20s and the low 30s, but with some very strong northeasterly winds up to 40 kilometres an hour for the west. If we see a storm later in the day at this stage, we're not expecting any rainfall. It's in Monday instead when we are expecting to see that wet weather. There's about a medium chance of rain combined with widespread cloud cover, and as we can see, temperatures dropping back to just the low to mid 20s. If we do see storms during the day, they could bring some heavier rainfall, down to 20 degrees in Glen Innes under cloudy skies and 20 on the way for Tenterfield. That rainfall does look to track through until mid next week. Certainly on Wednesday, we're expecting some heavy showers. We'll be keeping an eye on these rain totals over the next few days, though certainly well needed across our region. First, though, a dry weekend on the forecast.
It's great to see some rain.
Yeah, we need
Good
it
for the garden.
Very much so.
And the lawn.
Indeed. And that's all we have time for tonight. Thanks for watching. You can catch up on our website or, of course, at 7+.
Right now, Dan's got your national news. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday at 6 o'clock.